Let's
wasn't
talk
much in that
about this
trailer.
Black Myth Wukong. And let's talk about the validity of a AAA studio these days.
This game. Oh, so much potential. Oh, give game now.
Because the thing I had started talking with Raga about was, if you have this game, Black Myth Wukong, now all we have is a gameplay teaser, basically. But this game was made by 13 people.
Oh, that it? Is that their total team? Well, I bet Jay's bigger now.
13 people made what you are seeing in the background.
Beautiful.
My question is, when are gamers going to learn? And I know, don't take it as aggressive as it sounds towards the fans, but when are gamers going to learn that they need to demand more from the top of the chain? If this game can be made with 13 people, how the hell does EA, with hundreds of people, thousands, and infinite resources, how do their AAA games come out looking like garbage? And this game made by 13 people can look like this. And how do you rationalize spending your $60 for them? Now, of course, you're probably going to spend it for this too, but why would you even give $60 to EA, Ubisoft, Activision? Why would you even give them money? They got all the shit. They got all the shit and can't put out something that looks better than this teaser made by 13 people.
I'll tell you what it is. It is the difference between an indie studio and a publicly traded company that has to answer, what have you done for me this quarter, right? So you don't get to put the time and attention into a game like these folks did, because they'll work at their own goddamn pace, and there's literally nothing anyone can do about it. It'll be done when it's goddamn done. That's why CD Projekt Red is the way they are. Devolver Studios, all the big little teams that don't answer to a CEO that has to pump up the stock price. That's why these AAA games come out broken and need to be day one patched, because it's got to come out to make the money for the quarter, to make the numbers look good. That is it 100%.
I get it, but I still have a problem.
Oh yeah, no, that's the truth, but it's still bullshit.
But it's like, be. Yeah, like it's like, okay, but still, see, but that's the thing. They only do that, and they only continue to do that because people give them money for inferior product. And while doing so, even though people, for instance, and I know this is where we're going to come into an issue, and I know that it had to happen as soon as games came up, but it's the same argument as Destiny. Look at his eyes roll. Look at his eyes roll. The dark side. Unlimited power. like this is the thing. And this is the reason I say that, because I really feel like there's a disconnect when people think of games. Like, there's a disconnect between consumers and what they spend their money on, and the trends that they see being amplified, even though they're like, nobody likes this. Why are they continuing to do this? It's because you gave them $60 at least for doing it, when you should have said, nah, that product is crap, and your tactic is crap. So I don't give you money for this. You vote with your wallet. as they always say. So,
Yeah.
So, and I feel like people don't connect the dots though. Like, because you gave them money, like people are like, oh man, this new Avengers game, how come it doesn't look as good as I feel it should for like a end of this gen, next gen game? Oh, it's because you told them that basically they could make crap and you'd paid for it. That's why. That's why isn't it, man, Spider-Man was so good. How come we can't get a story-based, campaign-focused game with all of the Avengers in it that really is just really good on all counts? Because you played Destiny. That's why.
Oh, hell no. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Goddamn
Yes.
minute.
Yes.
This is not Destiny's fault.
Everything is Destiny.
How dare you?
I'm just fucking with you. I'm not really, but I'm fucking with you.
Sit up in my seat for this one. All right.
No,
let's go.
because look, Destiny on console was the basic pioneer of the $60 beta. It just was. When that game came out, they offered you a bunch. They gave you vanilla with no sprinkles. And yes, Notorious. See, this is what I want people to understand. I made her play Destiny. So I'm not talking as somebody who's just hating from the outside. I'm talking about somebody talking about somebody who was there from the beginning, realized what I was doing, and then said, "Oh shit, this is the problem." I'm not above it. I'll admit when I was wrong, but now I'm spreading the gospel of Vicious. And the gospel is this. They created a $60 beta. They never came through in fruition on what they had imagined for Destiny 1.
Yes, they did. How Destiny 1 ended with the Taken King. Everyone praises that.
They gave you a...
Stop it.
Okay. Well, then let's back up. I was going to just go past Destiny 1, but let's talk about it. God damn it. No, let's talk about it. First of all, you saw the beginning of what? The $60 beta for a base game. Then they gave you the 3 DLC game pass or DLC pass. Okay? Mm. And that's when it started. That's when the real horrible stuff started. Because what they did is they started the process of, and they continued it through D2, we give you the DLC pass, we do minor updates for all of those little DLCs, and then we put the actual changes and substance behind a paywall. And they did it from the first one all the way to now. You get 3 basic DLCs that don't do jack or shit, and then you get they said it. And you know what, let me finish my comment. I'm interrupting my own goddamn self. So I'm interrupting my own self out here. So basically they give you the 3 DLCs, then they go, oh, but what you really wanted? Another $40. And they continued that multiple times. And then by the end of that, which now they made it free to play, it's a little better if you jump in now. But for the people who were there day one, you basically funded a game that you got an inferior product, and then they said, wait 5 to 7 years and it'll be worth playing. Bottom line, you paid for a beta, and then they gouged you to make the beta better. And then when it was all said and done, when they first did, I can't remember what it was called. It was called the oh God, it was the one that they brought out in Destiny 2 where they added the Gambit.
Crucible?
No. It was a specific thing called the Gambit, and it came with a big storyline update. I think it was the one where Cade died. Forsaken.
Oh,
yeah.
Forsaken.
So
yeah.
when they were doing the Forsaken thing, they literally came out and said it. They came out and said they were ripping people off. They did their big little conference beforehand where they had their little digital show where they were explaining everything. And the dude says, we've been listening to you. We've heard what you say you wanted. And we're going to give it to you with Forsaken. And I'm like, well, why didn't you give it the last DLC? And do you know why? And you know why? Because
that's why.
You can't just blame Activision. That's another thing.
Yes,
Destiny
you can.
People,
you can absolutely blame the publisher who is funding the game.
Look.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You can. Yes.
At the time Bungie left Microsoft, they had the ability to create their own studio and exist. They had their ability to be bought out by other people who were vying for them, which there was a trade war going on for them. They chose to go to Activision, which everybody and their mom knew how they worked. Everyone knows how EA and Activision works. You can't say, oh, they forced me to do it. You knew they were going to force you to do it. That's how they've been working for the last decade and a half. You think they're going to change and be like, hey, guys, we know that y'all know how to make games, but we're going to leave you alone, even though we didn't leave any of these other 10 studios that we acquired and buried. We didn't leave them alone, but we're going to leave you alone because you're Bungie. You can't just throw the blame like that.
They made a bad call, which is why they ended up leaving and taking their fucking game with you. That's why that was in the contract. It's like, wait, if at any point we want to be out, we're going to be out. And that's what happened. And now they're selling. Now the game's being made like it should have been made from way back when. And it's the only thing that's supporting it is DLC and microtransactions. The game's free to fucking play now.
You know what? And that's why I brought it up. But do you get credit now for fucking up then? I say no. Just because you fixed the game now, and now that the game is coming together, even though they still don't have a cohesive storyline, and each DLC story is basically a cliff notes of something you're supposed to care about with no context, even though that's the case, what'd you say?
Yeah, I said the story's kind of rough. I'm playing through the campaign now still. I'm still like, what the fuck is happening? But anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get you. But my thing is because like Notorious just said, should we restart now? Should we play it now? If you want to play it now, I have no issues with it. It's free to play. Yeah. It's free to play, and you still got to buy DLC and stuff. But you know what? Come on, let's be reasonable. So let's be reasonable.
Game's free.
Okay?
Got to pay for something.
Come on, you got to pay for something. But no, because you're not the first person to ask me that, Notorious. They were like, well, why don't you play now and see what they've improved? Because you already hurt me. Okay?
That's also fair.
You already hurt me. I caught you. I caught you cheating. And just because you're sorry now, doesn't mean, goddamn it, that I have to take you back. And that's really what it comes down to. So it's that they might be doing great shit now, but I'll tell you one person who's not going to see it, me.
Yeah, no,
because you already took my 100 and gave me nothing.
Yeah,
and by the time you changed it, I had to pay you $80 more. Well, there's a game that came out, or a bunch of games that came out. Well, guess what? I gave them $60 and I got my full experience. I played Sekiro, and that game treated me like a blonde being passed around at a fucking crack house. But I enjoyed my time. My knees came out a little scuffed. But I enjoyed my time, and I came away with $60 worth of that slat. So
you definitely did. You get money out of that game.
So that's all I'm saying. Is
that
we
just come from two different experiences, because I don't play console shooters. I never will, so I never played Destiny 1. I came in at Destiny 2, which unfortunately I quit because they were on their bullshit on that launch. It didn't come back till years later, but I was willing to give them another shot. Plus, I'd already paid for the fucking game, so whatever. So now I'm back and I'm enjoying my time. But I do still think that you underestimate a publisher's influence. I mean, Activision and EA have graveyards of studios for a reason. Either do what we say and make us money, or you're gone.
I just finished
And-
hollering about Fox and Sony and how they fucked up all the IPs they got. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but you don't get to act like you didn't know what you were signing up for. That's my only point. If you had asked EA and Activision had been like tied for worst game or worst publisher in the industry for like the last decade. So
Yeah.
you can't sit back and say, I didn't know that they were going to try to money gouge my studio. Because everyone, if asked beforehand, would say, bruh, they going to money gouge your studio. Like, if the fans know it, you have to know it. It's your money. It's your livelihood. So you can't sit back and say, oh, it was, in my opinion, I will say this. I know I've been speaking real absolutist, but in my opinion, to set it all back down to zero, you can't act like you didn't know what you were getting into, but you chose to go down that route. And I am going to call you on going down that route until you change it. I will never buy another Bungie game until I am satisfied that that what they put out has changed all of everything negative that I have been taught, because I loved Bungie. They taught me to hate them. So
okay, so what is the change that you need to see looks like? Because they've left the big bad publisher.
I need them to bring out a game for $60 that is absolutely day one. Okay, let's give them the day one patch, okay? Let's even give them the day let's give them the week one patch. Let's give them the week one patch. I need a week one patch game that is $60, that is a solid and fruitful and just, it fills my soul, it grabs me, it reaches around a little bit. I need it to do all that to me like Sekiro did. Like many games, like the many great games that have come out for $60. I need it to be a solid product. I'm not going to take any Halo Master Chief Collection that doesn't work for 8 months after it's put out and still has matchmaking issues to this day. I'm not going to.
That's 343. That's not Bungie.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, I was just naming other games that also from developers that are on my shit list personally. But yo, what's up? How are you doing today? I am doing great. I know you left earlier, but I'm glad to see that you came back. How's it going, guy? So anyway, didn't
he leave? Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
He said I have to go, and now he's back. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great as well. But yeah, like I felt once they made Assassin's Creed, not Bungie. Just I'm mentioning other studios that have also made it to this list. When they took Assassin's Creed and they ruined the story to turn it into a Madden yearly release, they hurt me. Yeah. They hurt me because the story of Altair was one of the hottest joints ever. It was I was ready to call it like the greatest story in gaming. For the
Black
people
Flag
who
was pretty dope too.
That's when I stopped. Because that's when they ruined the game for a boat mechanic that they then brought out in a different game.
Oh,
that was the beginning of the yearly release. That was,
Wait, what boat mechanic?
Because basically they made Black. Was it Black Flag or Black Sails, or am I thinking of the TV show?
It's Black Flag. Black Flag is the game.
Black Flag was made after Assassin's Creed 3, in which they made that boating mechanic, and the game was broken and buggy as fuck. But they made the boating mechanic, and they got hot off of the boating mechanic, so they made the next one about pirates. And it was during that time that the whole production process shortened for the games. And the story based through the first games started to get muddled. And then they eventually did away with it, completely just ruining what could have been the greatest story ever in gaming, in my opinion. So, there's that game. And after, because I went into Destiny because a friend of mine wanted to go into Destiny. And I brought my friend, Notorious, in with me. And I saw the errors in my ways, and I was just like, I'm done. Any game that is a games as service should never make money off of anybody. That's my decree. Any game.
And it wouldn't be a games as a service because there would be no service because there's no money to be made. So
exactly, and they'd stop making them. And they'd stop making them.
Oh, that's never going to happen. I wish.
It would if they stopped making money off of it. That's why you do that. That's what I'm saying.
Never happen.
But what happens?
With all these casuals running around in here, bro.
And to wrap it all the way back around, once again, we're off on those. We took the stones from like 5 different timelines, and we got to bring it all back around, okay? We got to sing
I got 5
Cap.
minutes, by the way.
Oh no, we got to sing Cap. So basically, to wrap it all back around, because Destiny showed that it could maintain a player base that would be willing to pay constantly for a games as service model, which is actually a free-to-play model that isn't free.
True.
Which
games
is
as a service that you have to buy the game. It's bullshit.
That alone should tell you how silly you're being if you buy it. But anyway, it showed that could work. So they started. Then we got The Division. Then we got Anthem. Anthem was
The Division.
Everything wrong with everything. But now we have Avengers, a game where I literally got bored playing that demo within 15 minutes. And to even show that I was not trying to be an asshole about it, I was like, you know what? There were a few things. Let me take a break. And before I go into the actual story missions and not just that bridge mission that everyone and their mom has seen, I was like, let's take a break. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll play the story mission, which has the Hulk, which is my favorite character, and Miss Marvel. And I was like, there's no way that I can't like it. Came back, played it.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Got to the same point. Boring as fuck. The only good thing about that was the boss battle with Abomination. And even the boss battle with Abomination actually felt like it felt like it forced you to be strategic and not just smash things. I
mean, at the end of the day, that game is still just a 2-button game.
Yeah.
A game is maybe not bad, but probably boring, where like you're smashing buttons and you notice that your thumb is getting tired. A game's probably trash when you're just smacking the same buttons.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, but Destiny taught the industry that they could do it. And every game that's a games as service has attempted to pull it off. The Division started off the same way. You have a base game. That game is it's all right. And then you're like, oh, well, I guess I'll play this for the next 5 months while they create whatever is coming next. And now I'm pretty sure that if you were to go back and play the Division, like I'm pretty sure it's probably hot as hell right now. As if you're
Division 1, it ended really well, but Division 2 is I haven't gone back in a year and a half now. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's all I'm saying is that it's time to hold these people accountable. And I think gamers need to start looking at the big picture of what they're allowing when they make it so that these companies can just make crap instead of beautiful stuff like this. Look at my man Wukong. There's a dragon in the background. He's flying on his Nimbus. This game looks better than everything. And it was made by 13 people, not a mega conglomerate with thousands of people and all the resources. So if this is what you could get if you force them to stop doing what they're doing and to just get back to the basics, then we could have games that are like this, that are bigger and better and don't have the things that make us want to stop gaming, like loot boxes. We could have better shit